And now we are going towards the Antonin bath. Guys, even more popular, because a lot of touristic buses, you will see that, because there is many of these buses doing like a day tour to Tunis, visiting Carthage city, visiting the Bardo and the Medina. From Sus, so that 2 hours drive, and then go back to Sus. So from Carthage, they're not gonna see the Birsa Hill, but they will see just the Antonine Baths, because it's considered as the most spectacular monument left by the Romans in Carthage, in the side of Carthage. You see the columns, you see the arches, and you'll see it's quite impressive. Still, especially for its location, it's directly on the coastline, so it's very, very impressive. But let's talk about the legend of Carthage. So Carthage, the history now, have been built by who? By the Phoenicians. The first city that the Phoenicians did build, it was Utica, 12th century BC. Second, it was the city of Hadrumetum, the actual city of Sus, 10th century BC. Then Carthage, 9th century BC. We're talking about 814 BC exactly, the date of the construction of Carthage. This is the history, finishing coming from the actual Lebanon. But there is a legend of Carthage with the princess Dido from Tyre. This princess, after the death of her father, the king, her brother Pygmalion, wanted all the kingdom for himself. Normally, it's the husband of Dido that will be the king, but her brother did kill her husband and wanted the kingdom for himself. And Dido, to protect her people from a civil war, she took her treasures, richness, and the people that still believe in her and her husband, and took the sea towards through the Mediterranean, and she did stop in here in Carthage for its strategical position. So not far from Sicily, 140 kilometers, Tunisia, well hidden, a hill, easy to fortify, so it was, and some fertile area here in the inland, so it was a very important position. And when she did arrive to Carthage, the locals, that you will agree we will call them the Berbers, because there is different names for them, Numidian, Libyan, let's say more general Berbers. The Berbers had a tradition, so if you are not from here, if you're foreigners, if you want to buy land, you can buy land, but it will be as big as an ox hide, a beef hide. So not as that big. So they did propose that to Dido, and Dido accepted. And during the night, she did cut the ox hide in fine strips, and she connected all of them together, turned it into like a long cord, and she surrounded all the Birsa hill with that cord. And tomorrow morning, she said to the Berber king, "This is my land, as big as an ox hide, as we agreed." And he was really impressed by the intelligence of Dido, and also, not just that, but I think it's our weakest point for us men, he was a little bit in love with her. So he did accept to give her that land, which is the actual Birsa hill. Birsa, that means, it's still called Birsa nowadays, means ox hide. So hide, if you prefer. Birsa, that's the hill where the first Carthage did start. Of course, we are talking about the legend, but legends of Carthage, there is also the other one, but that one, it's a Roman one, with the Aeneid, written in the Aeneid of Virgil, how Aeneas, after the war of Troy, went through the Mediterranean to find the city of Rome, and he did stop in here in Carthage and met Dido, and then Dido sacrificed herself she threw herself on a fire that he made on the top of that same hill, the Birsa hill. Dido, she's in our money, right? She's in our money, and the 10 new 10 dinar bill, that's Dido. So very important figure. Dido, Hannibal, these are the two most important characters that Dido, I'm not sure if Dido existed or not.
There's a singer. Isn't there a singer named Dido?
A singer named Dido, yeah. It's an American singer, right? Maybe. But anyway, look at this. Look at how many buses here. So really like.
Yesterday was even the bus was tough. Yeah.
you see over there, these are Punic tombs. That's where we did find some jewelry that dates back to the Punic period, and also in the tombs, terracotta objects, but also some very ugly masks. You may see them in the shops, some very ugly masks. Why that? Because they believe in a journey after death. Your soul have to travel to get to the other world, and during this journey there was like bad spirits. So to protect the soul from these bad spirits, they will have these ugly masks to scare the bad spirits. So again, bad spirits, evil eyes, so they used to believe in all that as well. So these are kind of tombs that you have to dig for about 3 to sometimes even 4 meters before finding a funeral room. And sometimes on the same well you can find even 4 rooms on the 4 direction for a whole family. So that's very interesting, and this dates back to the 5th century BC. But what's interesting here on the side of Carthage is that wall over there. That wall dates back to the 5th century AD. That's mean Byzantine period. So Christian period as well here in Tunisia, and they did build their tomb on the top of the Carthaginian one. So after the Carthaginian you had the Romans, you have the Vandals, and then the Byzantine, and they did build their tombs on the top of some Carthaginian tombs, and that's that wall is just one tomb. So you have like an entrance and then a whole room where... Okay, let's continue please. Guys, this is how it used to look like in Roman times. Have a look how big it is. So you are somewhere in here before even the entrance, and then that highest one, that highest roof, that's the, you remember? The big one, the one that has that column, that's the Frigidarium. The first dome, the closest to here, that's the Caldarium. The 2 others on the side are the Tepidarium, and if you come this way, you will see the swimming pool, open air swimming pool on the other side with a beautiful view of the Bay of Tunis. But what I wanted to show you in here, you don't see it on the other, it's this half circular thing on both sides. There's one here and one on the other side. Do you know what it is? No. You've been to one yesterday. The toilets, very good. The latrines, the half-circular ones, are the toilets. There is nothing left of them, but they were supposed to be over there, the latrines. You see just like the basements of it, but have been totally gone. Like most of it always have been, was buried when they started the excavation, so that's why it is that well preserved. It used to be the underground where the slaves would work.
That's what I want to know. What's happening? Storing the wood, the slaves.
Yeah, exactly. Heating. So people normally don't really get in there. Will be on the first floor where they will have the real swimming pool, basins, and everything.
Do the regular people come to this, or does you have to be like
some
wealthy person?
Of course, we don't have really something written about that, but they will say, some writing will mention, even at the end of the day when the water will be a little bit more dirty, even the slaves will go to have a bath at the end of the day in there as well. So it's very important. Also, what I wanted to say, very important social place, these bath, but it was a meeting place. They will discuss a little bit about everything. It's not just having a shower and then leaving, much more important than that. Let's continue this way please now. Kilometer. Yeah, kilometer.
A good one. Or
You'll need easily like 20-25 minutes walk. Yeah.
Ja, da ist gut verstecken zum Spielen. Versuchst du? Ja, sicher. Ein Jahr hätte ich es
yeah.
You want to go ahead, Brian? I'll get you in this video. Ham it up, Brian. Your students will love it.